Good morning.
Set the scene for us. What is Valley Park like this morning?
While it's a little raining, it's wet. The river seems to have crested and is slowly starting to come down.
How worried are you over this rain today that might reemerge and start rising again?
Well, we were at the meeting at the EOC yesterday, and they had predicted 44.1, but they said that included the rain that they thought that we were going to have, the next today and maybe into tomorrow.
Yeah. You ordered an emergency evacuation, and yet not everybody had to leave. Explain that.
16 residents stayed. We can order that, but we can't force a resident to leave if they don't want to. They have that option to stay, which, I understand that's their home and their castle, and they want to be with it. And so all we did was found out who was staying, got their, the name and the number and the address, and then a point of contact in case anything drastic happens.
Somewhat controversial, because if they stay, and if, God forbid, something were to happen, you would then have to risk the people going in to save them, right? I mean, you're putting the emergency workers at risk of going to save these people who chose to stay.
Yes, they are at risk to go in there and save the individual that wanted to stay. I mean, if they wanted to stay, you can't drag them out of their house. And I'm not going to drag them out of the house. If they would like to stay and be in their home, their castle, that's their prerogative. And I know the first responders that if something did happen, they would come in there and rescue them. They would put that behind them, and it's not as an issue, and they would do what they are trained to do.
You gave this order, and yet were you worried that the levee was going to fail, was going to come over the top? Why did you give this order?
I wasn't worried that the levee was going to fail. We go by the Corps of Engineers protocol that we have when it hits the 40 mark, water line at 40. They suggest, doing a mandatory evacuation. It's, to be on the safe side.
Mayor, how do you?
And on your point with the residents that did stay, yes, some of them did stay, but the majority of the residents understand what the river is capable of, so that they left. So instead of a whole town having for the first responders to worry about evacuating, they had a few residents that did stay.
What are residents saying? I mean, this happens so often, and Valley Park seems to be the target every time we have heavy rains. What are they saying? What are you hearing from them?
They understand, living near a river. I mean, and it's not just Valley Park, what Eureka is going through right now, Pacific, Fenton, Arnold area, and up and down the river. We're all going through the same thing. It's not just only Valley Park. It's every community up and along the river here.
What are you hearing about when 141 and 44 will reopen?
The MoDOT has not said yet, but usually it has to get down to around 27 or 28, and then they'll have to go in there and clean up the road, make sure it's passable. Any kind of debris could have got through there.
We also hear that a lot of people don't know this, Mayor, that there is there a garbage facility around that area that is close to being flooded?
There's a trash transfer station over there, and as of right now, there's no water up to it or near it.
Are you worried about water getting in there, or no? Or is that safe?
Well, it's safe with the river cresting now and starting to drop.
What about
Even when the record hit 44.1 in December of 15, had no issues. I think they had it all cleaned out. It's just a trash transfer station that they, collect trash, and then they put it in a larger container and send it somewhere else.
What about the water treatment plant? That was an issue in 2015. The wastewater treatment plant.
MSD over here, they've learned a lot since the issue that happened in December of 2015. They were able to catch this earlier. They've got all their precautions in place. I talked to one of the reps from MSD, and everything is good. Everything is working fine. We've had, MSD people here watching, and they've had no issues. They have plenty of pumps, what they've needed over there. They've got a bigger and better wall system that they've learned since the flood of 15.
We're hearing that the flood of 15 was worse than this current rain. Is that true?
As far as height-wise, it's only like 0.3 of an inch. I mean, the other issue was the MSD issue that we had, and that was the only real worst part about it.
So you're saying the rainfall is comparable, or the effects, the height of the river are comparable to 2015?
But yeah, within 0.3 of an inch, which is roughly, I would say, like 4 inches right in there, 3.5, 4 inches.
When do you think you'll be able to lift the mandatory evacuation and allow the residents of Valley Park back in?
Right now, it's a minimum of 24 hours, and I'm going in here in a little bit. Well, I'm at City Hall right now, and we're going to go over the charts and see where it's going to be when it hits 40.
So you're hopefully maybe within the next 24 hours you'll be able to lift the evacuation.
Minimum. It could be longer.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Mike Pennise, mayor of the city of Valley Park. Mike, we'll let you get back to work. Thanks for filling us in.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You got it. Hang in there. 726, Big 550.